Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everybody, to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm your pal, Uncle Bruce. Welcome to the channel where we try to explain what's going on in the markets in plain English, and we talk about how you can write options and make a bunch of money on your account. Take control of your life and make it work for you. You only go around one time. You ever wondered about how people are like sitting in $30 million homes? If you're ever on like a holiday or something and you are in a place like Palm Springs or Palm Desert or La Quinta or Indian Wells, or you're in San Francisco, you're in Carmel, you go to Florida, go on a cruise and leave Miami, you see those beautiful big homes on those little tiny man-made islands. And you see stories in the media about so and so is trying to sell their house for $22 million, or there are the famous, the people we know of, celebrity type people, and then there are those you've never heard of before who do own this kind of real estate as well. You ever wondered about how does that work? I mean, if you only go around once in life, it's not like you can live 300 years and build wealth over 300 years. You are born, are a kid, you go to school, you graduate public school, high school, you're 17, you're 18, go to college at 19, I guess, 20, graduate college at 24, 23, 25, go to some go to master's schools, all this sort of stuff, doctors, lawyers, graduate at age 27, 8, 9, 30, and then you enter a profession. How is it that you get to own a house that's worth 8, 10, 12, 20 million dollars by the time you're 40 or 45? And how do you amass that kind of capital to be able to buy the house, afford the house, handle the taxes, the maintenance, and everything else to do with the house? I mean, furnish it, keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winter, depending on where you live. I mean, there are places in Aspen that are worth millions, or Hawaii, and who knows what. You gotta wonder how much money do you have to make, and how fast do you have to make it to be able to live this life. And then there's a zillion of us out there, the other 94% of us, or the 98% of us, who are just trying to get by. And many of you rent an apartment, you rent a house, you rent a condo, you own a condo, you own a townhome, you own a house, but certainly not a $12 million, on a golf course type place. There are people out there with 2, 3, and 4 houses that are 6, 8, 10 million each. How much capital is coming through their hands to be able to do this? It's just mind-boggling to me. And I'm just thinking America, let alone, there's Canada, UK, all of Europe, Asia. I mean, there are millions of very well-to-do people out there in the planet, millions, who own very expensive real estate along the Mediterranean coast and in Asia and Australia, everywhere, South America, in Africa, you name it. And then there's those of us who are just kind of plugging along. How is it that these folks pull us off? Because you only live as an adult, you're an adult from like 30, graduated, educated on average. By the time you're 30, you should be, working in hopefully your career. How long are you working for? Until you're 60, 65? Is that a 30-year career, 35-year career? In a 35-year time frame, and by the time you're 40, 45, or 50, you're in one of these places. How well have you done, and how fast have you done that well? How did that happen? That's what I wonder sometimes. I see these homes in California and I go, how in God's name can someone afford a place like that? Because you think about just the property taxes in some of these places are $3,000 a month, $30,000 a year, 30, 40,000 property taxes per year. Then to heat and cool and insure the place, and then have the staff to run it. Because if you're at an 8,000 square foot house, you can't keep dusting 8,000 square feet. I mean, you have no life. You got to hire people to look after this. This capital, is this 5,000 a month, 7,000 a month to maintain a place like that? How is that possible? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do you ever get into a crowd of that nature? If I help you folks with my my thoughts and hints and ideas of how to be an option writer and Iron Condor creator and all this, and I help you make $30,000 a month every month, you haven't got enough money to buy a $10 million house. Does that blow your mind? It blows my mind to have $30,000 a month of cash coming through. If you were able to dedicate that to living a lifestyle, keep in mind the tax man, there's no way you can be in a $10 million house. You're basically going to be able to live in $1 million house, but certainly not some of these, on the 18th fairway of whatever, Isn't that something? Maybe you have to generate 100,000 a month or 200,000 a month to be able to live that kind of life. What kind of job pays that? How many millions of people have jobs that pay that? I'm blown away by it. Anyway, at the SPYR, the SPYs are up 232, I think, at 448. I think we saw the inflation numbers come out. I've been waiting for the CPI thing. Shows first monthly uptick in annual inflation since June 2022. Initial unemployment claims rose in July. It's good and bad, because if unemployment is getting lousier numbers on unemployment, that's good for the Fed, because that means there's a slowdown. But if the inflation number is ticking a little higher here and there, depending on what part of the inflation curve you're studying, that could be bad. What's going on here? The 2-year Treasury is now down to 4.7%. The 10-year is 3.98%. So it looks like the Treasury market likes what they saw this morning on the CPI and the unemployment numbers. The Dow is showing a 226 gain in the pre-market. The spiders are up 196 to 447. S&P 500 is up 33 points in the pre-market. So it looks like the market generally likes what it sees. Is this going to translate into really good stock prices today? And is this going to help some of you become so wealthy around here that you've been lying to me how rich you really are? Some of you have been saying to me, oh yeah, well, my account's worth $35,000, but my other account is worth 35 million, but you don't know that. Are there people like that around here and not filling me in on where they're really at? Does some of you win a Powerball lottery that you're not telling me about? Some of you inherited money from Uncle Ned that you never knew existed until the check showed up in the mail. I mean, come on. How rich are you people? Rocket Lab is up 3 cents. SoFi's up a penny. GameStop up 7. Matterport is up 6.5. 23andMe's up 3.5. Spire's up 3.5. ATIP's up 37 cents. SmartRent's up 7. Every SPAC is up. Or former SPAC. Apple's up 80, Goldman up 156, Cisco up 14 cents, Tesla up $1.50, ARC Innovations up 24 cents here. All pre-market quotes. Microsoft up 266, Pfizer up a nickel, HBQ up 23, Google up 125, Amazon up 115. I think the market likes this. Nvidia down 206, was down 21 yesterday, now 206 this morning. We'll see if there's a turnaround here later today. Unity was down 133 yesterday, unchanged. AI was down $3 yesterday. It's up 8 cents this morning. Adobe was down 680. It's up 620 this morning. And right now the spiders are up 129 to 447.04. That's what I got. That's what I see on some of these pre-market quotes. And we'll see just how this plays out as we come closer to the opening this morning. Welcome all of you to the show. I really wonder about this. You got these folks in South Miami Beach, some of these neighborhoods, they're sitting in $10 million homes. They have $500,000 power boats that they go out for frolicking in the water. They drive $200,000 cars. Furniture in the house is worth $500,000 to $1 million. Property taxes are through the roof. How do they do that? What do they do to be able to maintain that kind of life? When I was a college student way back in the 70s, I used to go to college in Toronto, in an area called Casa Loma. The reason it was called Casa Loma was that there was a castle in the area that had been built by a kind of an eccentric, well-to-do person in the early 1900s. And this guy built this castle for his wife. He wanted to create a castle for his wife. He had done really well in whatever business he was in. And he built this castle called it Castle Loma. By the time the castle was finished, unfortunately for him and his wife, they had already separated, and the romance was long gone. Maybe the castle did them in, I don't know. But the castle was completed, and it was a marvel of technology of the day, and it was quite the sight to see. And the castle, sat on a big chunk of land on top of a hill and had a wonderful view, and was in what became a very prestigious neighborhood around the castle. At one time, all the land around the castle was farmland and grazing land for horses and cattle and whatever. But over time, it got subdivided. And then by the 1950s, very well-to-do Tony neighborhood, really nice neighborhood with nice, large houses all around that area. And it was that area was just north of where I went to school. And so when I was in my first year of college, in the evenings, I didn't have a TV in my room in my first year of college. I had a radio, I had a stereo, and a record player. I'd go for walks. I'd just go for a walk for an hour or two, and then come back to my room and get ready to get to sleep and get to school the next morning. So I'd walk around the neighborhood around Castle Loma Castle, and I would take a look at these nice homes of the very, very well-to-do that were up there. The story about the castle, though, was the castle did open up in 1910 or 15. I don't know exactly everything about it, but it had a lot to do. The castle was used a lot of times for ceremonial things. World War I veterans returning would be welcomed in a ceremony with a dinner and all that kind of stuff. Always thank you, veterans, and so on and so forth. Then during the Second World War, the castle was used by the Red Cross and other organizations, because what ended up happening with this castle was by the 20s, when the height of the stock market happened in the mid 20s, and then the crash happened in 29, and then the Depression, this castle was lost by the owner. First, he passed away. Second, his estate could not carry the castle any longer, because what did the estate in? Property taxes. Because as the city of Toronto grew and expanded out, this castle was no longer on the edge of town looking into the city of Toronto. It now was engulfed by the city, and the city kept going behind it. And the property taxes went up every year, just like they do nowadays. And it got to the point where the taxes on the land that the castle sat on were so high that the owners couldn't carry it anymore. And so it was basically abandoned. The castle was boarded up and was now no longer functioning. And it went into a receivership thing, and what ended up happening was the castle was either acquired by the city of Toronto or the province of Ontario, or a combination of the two. It was acquired by the government of the day, and then was converted to a public kind of a park thing. And so it was resurrected, and people could take tours of this castle for an admission, which would help pay for its upkeep. And it would then be used for functions. And during the war, it was used by the Red Cross. And then after the war, it was used for weddings and all kinds of events. And into this day, it's a very popular tourist site. Television series have been shot there because it's such a unique building. And you can get a really neat look with actors and actresses and scenes of horses and carriages and all that kind of stuff right in Toronto. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, that castle was lost by the owner because of taxes. And that brings me back to the beginning of this little show about, can you imagine if you own a house, somehow you inherit a house, you inherit your great uncle's estate, who knows? You're part of five people that now own a $20 million house in Beverly Hills or in Santa Monica or wherever it is. And you look at the cost of carrying this place and you go, oh my God, I got the house, I own a piece of this house, but I didn't get any income. I didn't get any cash. I didn't get any producing asset of any kind. I'm now on the hook for, this estate is on the hook to carry this place. How are we going to do that? And so many times these kinds of properties come up on the market in a distressed situation because the owners passed and it's now gone to the next, let's say, next generation of owners who have no interest whatsoever in the house or anything to do with the house. And so it's up for sale, and it's up for sale now. And that means stink offer and stink bids are coming in. It's going to go for a great discount. Now, if it had a liability against it, that's bad news. If it's free and clear, and you're entitled to 1/5 of the proceeds as your inheritance, and it goes for 10 million instead of 20 million, you're still getting $2 million in your pocket. You're thinking that's a win for me, and I'll take it. There are so many these large type homes being built everywhere, every town and city, North America, everywhere else. I really wonder, how in the world is it sustainable? How can this continue to go on? I never noticed in my younger years, when I was in my teens and my 20s and 30s, I didn't notice as many valuable houses like I see now, valuable properties, multi-million dollar, phenomenal numbers of properties. The sheer number of them is overwhelming to me. I can't imagine that much cash out there, that much capital out there. But with zero interest rates for the last 20 years, you can imagine that someone who had $3 million in cash as a down payment could buy a $10 million house, carry a $7 million mortgage with a 1 and 1.5% mortgage rate on it, depending on where you got your financing from. I mean, if you only have to pay 1.5% on your house for interest, yes, it's still gazillions of dollars to do every month. But on a $10 million property versus a 7% mortgage, a 1.5% mortgage is a day and night scenario. And so there were people through the last 15, 20 years who were living in homes way above their theoretical pay grade if interest rates were to go to 7%, where we are now on mortgages. And I kind of wonder how many of these high-end homes, or let's say multi-million dollar homes that aren't the mega mansions, but these are $3 to $6 million, $7 million homes. How many of these are going to come to the market on a forced sale going forward? Because people can't afford the new mortgage rate that they're going to be quoted. Got to make you wonder about that. Also, governments, city governments, counties, states. You can imagine the cash crunch that governments are facing right now because inflation is costing them more money to be in business for their constituents. Someone has to pay the piper to cover those budgets, and it's property owners. It's commercial and private property owners. If you own a house on an acre of land and you're inside a city, you might have yourself a real problem here. Gonna make you wonder, doesn't it? I see listings all the time. I love watching, like going on Zillow.com. Zillow.com is a cool site because you can pretend to be a shopper of real estate, and you come helicoptering into a community, and you check out the listings of a certain region, and then you find the more expensive houses, and you click on it. And sometimes you'll find a listing of a home for sale that's $8 million. And then you read the details, like how much are the property taxes and how much have they gone up in the last 15 years? And you see those numbers and you go, oh my God, every year this house's property taxes go up $1,000 a year every year because the house's value has gone up. So to carry it, and then the cost of air conditioning and heat. Last year would have been just insane to have to heat or air conditioned house with all the energy prices going through the roof. It's unbelievable. And then there's insurance costs, fire insurance, flood insurance. You got to have it or you're not going to get a mortgage. And now the cost of a mortgage has gone up dramatically. How many of these homes are going to come on for forced sales as the year comes in, like this next 2 years? How many of these houses will come up and will have to be blown off? And again, I ask myself and I ask you, what do these people do to have this kind of capital, either to put down a substantial payment and carry the mortgage or to buy cash these places? Where does this come from? And how many people have this kind of money? How many millions of people are there with millions of dollars that can be done. And what do they do to get it? It's got to make you wonder if you see a person when you go to your local Costco store, you go to your favorite Home Depot, or you go to your Walmart, or wherever you go shopping, you drive along in your car and you see homeless people in certain areas of your town. All of you know where the homeless are wherever you live. You know your neighborhood, you know your town, you know your city, you know where the down and outers have always been for decades. Okay, so you know where today's homeless are. Many of you are shocked by how many more homeless maybe there are now than before. So there's that group. All right, and whether they get any kind of assistance or not is who knows, but they are where they are right now in that world. Then there are those, the hardworking poor, who are working 1 or 2 jobs, 3 jobs, just trying to make a go of it. Then there's the hardworking lower middle class, who are, they're paying their rent and they're driving a 10-year-old car, and they're getting by. And then there's the middle class and the upper middle class, who are doing what they can, living in a nicer home than the cheapest houses, driving relatively new cars, fair enough. And then there's those who have the more money coming in than they need to live on, and it's been that way for years and will continue to look that way for years. And then there are those who make way more money than they're ever going to need for the lifestyle they lead, because they lead a low lifestyle, very, very, very conservative, or they live a nice lifestyle and still make triple, quadruple, 10 times as much. And they can afford to be in an $8 million house, and they have the money to go into a $20 million house, but they choose to live in an $8 million house. What on earth do they do to do that? How does that work? And it makes you wonder how many of these folks are entrepreneurs, own their own companies, investment companies, perhaps. Perhaps they're involved, like they're a lawyer, or they're a doctor, or they're the husband and wife are both medical professionals, and they're part of a medical practice of 20, 30 other doctors. And they've formed a large corporation, a health company, a health clinic type company, and they all share in the spoils, and they own a $20 million chunk of real estate that is the parking lot, the building, the clinic, all the equipment. And their game plan is to own this asset, work their part of the practice, bring out their salaries, of course, and their wealth is growing with the value of the property that they're on, because it's an active property that's a clinic, always busy. That means the value of the land and the land around it is rising in value, because it is a place that people go for commerce. So stores and strip malls around this property are experiencing good clientele and growth. And the doctors and partners are getting richer, because this property of 20 or 30 or 40 million dollars is rising 3-4 million a year in value as time goes on, because to replace that clinic with a new clinic from scratch will cost double the price. And this is how they ultimately retire, because every year or two, 1 or 2 of these doctors of the 20 or 30 retire, and another fresh doctor coming in from the outside is coming in and is taking out the one partner to become a partner. And that's where the new partner takes loans against their career to buy in, and the retiring doctor is selling out to cash out. Now, maybe they bought in when the property is worth 15 million, they're selling out when it's worth 40 million, and they've had a nice little gain themselves in that, and have made a nice living in the meantime, and have lived in a nice house in the meantime. But that doesn't get him into a $20 million house, does it? Or an $8 million house? I don't think so. There's something else done by these people to be able to afford this life. It's fascinating to me. It's always fascinated me. I've always been a real fan of it. I support people who make a lot of money. I love people that make a lot of money. I love people who have figured out a way to make a lot of money through their street smarts, through their hard work, through their invention of something, through their connections. However it works, I respect it. And then there are you guys who are here now doing stuff you've never thought you would ever do before you came to this channel. It is a story that I get repeated back to me every single day. where many of you come to me and say, you have changed my world completely, because 2 years ago, I was a mess. I was disorganized, unfunctional, dysfunctional, had no idea how the market worked, had no idea what was going on in the money world. And you talking every day about what's going on out there have really opened up my eyes to go, wow, I'm an observer of wealth and corporate activity and government activity and the market activity and the inflation rate and the interest rates. I've never given a crap about this, and now I do give a crap, and I do follow it closely, and I absolutely see the correlation between economic activity and economic well-being or not well-being. And there are winners and losers in every aspect of business out there. There are companies that are on the ascent, getting stronger and better and more profitable, and there are companies that are having issues. And then there are investors who are winning and investors breaking even and investors losing. And here you figured out you can be an investor in this crazy market, and you don't necessarily have to be right to make money. You just have to be in it. Excuse me. You just have to be in the market to make money, not necessarily pick the direction. And Iron Condor writers are figuring out, oh my God, Bruce, you have changed everything for me since I took class number 16 or bought class 16 off your website. This is unbelievable. I have always had an inkling of kind of where the markets are and where they're headed, but I've never been able to make money on it. And now I don't have to guess correctly what direction Tesla goes or what direction the spiders, the SPY index goes, or the triple Qs, or anything else. I just have to set up an Iron Condor with enough of a range on either side of the market, and I can win. And I don't even own the stock. I don't have to own Tesla stock to do this, and I don't have to have 150 grand to make $1,000 profit on an investment like this. This is the revelation that is happening here right now. And it's exciting because a lot of you figured out, man, Bruce, I didn't know that with 5 or 10 grand, I could be involved in wagers, in calculated positions in these kinds of entities like Adobe and Google and Amazon and Apple and Tesla and on it goes. These index options are unbelievable. And I had no idea that options expire every day on these index ETFs. This is a game changer. And I say, welcome to the party, pal. You've been here for 2 years, 2.5 years, and you've learned a lot. And now I've taken you to another stage in your education. You're in a college. You're kind of at school here. And you're taking the course, you're hanging out with the professor as we talk about what's going on. You're taking my classes, and you're lifting up your knowledge of how this whole thing works. And you're getting better at figuring it out, more comfortable with it all. And you understand that the more you know and the more you learn, the more you don't know, how much more there is to learn. And this is what is happening to you folks every week and every month that you're with me. You're realizing, my God, I still don't know jack squat about the big economic engine out there. It's unbelievable. And that brings me back to how can you get your hands on a $2 million to a $5 million house yourself? And there's a couple of ways to do it. The one way to do it is create a company that creates a product that you can take public, and you got 100 million shares in your own portfolio, and your shares are worth $20 a share, and you're worth $2 billion. And now you can buy yourself a $20 million estate house, and away you go. That's one way. There are a few dozen people every year or two that can do that, maybe. In the world, not in your town. For those of you who are here, your game plan to the better life, and the first better life is just pay your debts off. That's the first mega move for many of you here. If you can just get out of debt, that right there would be the biggest change in your lives since you were born, because ever since you've been 25 or 30, you've been in the hole to somebody. A car loan, furniture loans, no, not a penny down. Pay this thing off over 5 years. Credit card debts, mortgages, whatever. If you can get out of debt completely and then redo your finances, you'll be looking back going, holy crap, if we didn't have this bank loan, this credit card bill, this mortgage, my cost of living would be this much a month. And if I can bring in this much a month doing options like he says, I'm going to have 10, 15,000 a month more coming in than I need to live on. There's the definition of wealth, bringing in more than you need. The question after that is, all right, you've been here a little while and you've made a few dollars writing options and you've paid off all your debts. Now what? Well, now what? The next step is to build enough wealth in your IRA for your retirement, because that was the point of the exercise. You wanted to better your life and solidify your retirement. Now, how old are you now? Are you 45, 50, 55, 28? Whatever year you are now, you've got to have a certain amount of money in hand or asset value in hand so that you could theoretically get an annuity and live off the annuity proceeds and your Social Security for so much a month for the rest of your life, with maybe some adjustments for inflation on your Social Security, maybe not. That's the second objective. The third objective is to build wealth beyond that number that you need for retirement. Because again, if you get ill, you catch cancer, you need an operation that now forbids, doesn't let you work anymore. I mean, something happens physically, mentally, whatever. You can't go on anymore. Your money has to carry you now. Well, you've got that done. Now it's the next stage after that. That stage is the building of wealth above and beyond what you need to survive on. Now, that might be, in your mind, wealth for my family. I want to provide for my children and my grandchildren going forward so that when I'm long gone, I've set them up with some kind of a stipend to get them started. The kids, so my children, will be mortgage-free and debt-free when I'm gone. That'll get them springboarded to their wealth building plans, and the grandkids are all going to have a trust of some kind for their education so they don't ever have a student loan, or when they graduate, they get handed to them a check for X amount of dollars that is inflation adjusted every year. Whatever. You might have a master plan in your mind of that kind of philanthropy to your family. Beyond that, any money you're bringing in over that is additional wealth that you're going to manage. You may never get a $10 million house. You might just stay in your $300,000-$400,000 house you bought 20 years ago and just fix it up and live it out right to the end. And yet you end up with $50 million in assets, but they're all spoken for everyone that you've already decided who's going to get it. You could do that. But then again, some of you are going to go, oh, no, Bruce. Oh, no. No, my game plan is simple, Bruce. I'm going to pay off my debts. Oh, for sure, because my cost of living will be just what I spend on whatever I want to spend money on. No, I'm not carrying any financing of any kind. That's great. But, buddy, I want to go to Europe with my wife and see, Paris and France and Spain. And so, but I don't want to fly in economy going over there. And I don't want to fly on a commercial jet in business class. I want to go in a private jet. And at the very, very least, the lowest level of a private jet is where I charter a jet. I do a net jets kind of a thing. I buy 25 hours or 100 hours of private jet time. And now I'm flying around the world or between places. While I'm trading options and growing my account with you, I'm going to also travel this lifestyle. And then when I get to where I'm getting to, private airport outside of France, outside of Paris, there's a limo waiting for me to take me to the $1,000 a night hotel that my wife and I are staying at. We're living that lifestyle. And we're going to live that lifestyle because we're making this kind of capital. We have money in the bank to do this for the next 5 years, plus we're piling onto it. That's where my money's going. I'm going to live the life of a millionaire, billionaire for the foreseeable future while I can, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to see Asia. I'm going to see Africa. I'm going to see South America. I'm going to travel to all kinds of places because you, sir, have freed me up to do so. Well, can I complain about that? No, I can't. I say, way to go, kids. You don't have to buy an $80 million jet. You just have to rent it. Rent it when you need it. And then when you don't need it, it's not your problem, not your expense. You stay in $1,000 a night hotel until you leave. And then you don't pay $1,000 a night for that hotel anymore. Wherever you stay next is up to you. And when you do come home, you're coming home to your fully paid home, condo, or whatever you're living in. And you're now plotting your next trip. Way to go. Exciting stuff. I tell you, this is cool bean stuff. By the time you get to that level, you probably are able to live in a neighborhood where there are these expensive homes. And it's possible that you folks aren't even going to own real estate. You're just going to rent that kind of real estate. You're going to rent a home for $15,000, $20,000 a month. It may not be the $20 million mansion, but it might be a $3, $4 million place that you don't have to maintain. You don't have to pay property taxes on. You're just paying a rental. And you're leasing it for a year at a time. And this 1 year we're living here. 1 year we're going to live here. 1 year we're going to live there. Different states, different cities, different whatever. Because you want to get a variety of life. You want to get a variety of experiences. You find a place you really like, you sign another 1 year lease and stay there another year. Or you move a block or two away within the same neighborhood at that house over there that you wanted. Maybe that's your future. I have no idea, but it could be. Then you're going to meet the neighbors. And then you can let me know what do these people do that lets them afford that kind of lifestyle. And you might say to me, you're not going to believe this, but I've met 25 different neighbors all around here, and 15 of them are option writers. They're handling their own affairs. 5 of them watch you. You don't know this, but they do. And they talk to each other about how great you are, and they listen to you all the time. And they listen to Whitefeather, and they listen to Hawkeye, and they listen to Coyote, and they listen to Little Chaos, and they listen to Mr. Premium of the Option, and they listen to what Manager Says, and Waverly, and Splair, and TJH, and Larry Titus, and Matthew, and Dude, and Bama Babe, and Karim, and Maria Powell, and Drew, and everybody. And they get all their ideas from these people, and they write their options. That's what they do. And that's how they live the life they're living. Are you like that? Welcome to the party, everybody. How are you? Are you doing all right? I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you're all here being with us today. It's great. It's nice to see you all. We're up 225 on the Dow. This is good news. We're up 31 on S&P, and we're up 154 on NASDAQ. This is a nice little bump up in the market. The spiders, SPYs, are now 448.85 on the pre-market. We're heading back to 450. The high of the year, though, 459. We're not going to do that today, but, it's a little better than the 444.96 we had yesterday for a bit. SPY, the S&P 500 is up 33. NASDAQ's up 157. Oil down about 27 cents a barrel. There you go. Nice little start to the session. We like it. Hopefully you'll get richer today. And I thank you. Way to go. Whitefeather. I'm not keeping any secrets. Of course, I don't have any money either. Good morning from Sell My House Fast in Upper Marlboro. Number 44, Lorraine, number 39, Manager 41. Everyone is here. Thank you, everybody. So nice. Manager, just imagining that if I won 1.58 billion on that lottery, what would I do with that kind of money? Well, for one, I'll buy 10 million SoFi shares and break all the option houses limits by writing 100,000 options on the get-go. Oh, man. Jason says it right there. Jason knows what he's talking about. $1 million is nowhere near what it used to be. You are right. That is true. That is true. Of course, $1 million, in 10 years won't be worth what it's worth today either. But for some folks, $1 million will never be achieved. For many folks, they will never see $1 million in their lifetime. That's just the way things are. Christina, thanks. Stephen is here. Good morning. Number 47. How you guys doing, everybody? Coffee Kids Trading is here, number 38 today. Luca is in the house. How you doing there, pal? Ciao. Number 51. Luca, how's it going today? You're not going to believe it, Luca. Yesterday, Jennifer and I and Jen Jr., We went to Nick's Steakhouse yesterday, 2 days in a row. Yeah, we did. Yeah. What can I say? It was wonderful. Drew, number 52. Good morning, everybody. Maria, number 54. How you doing? Kareem, good morning. Bama Babe, how you doing? Who else is here? Matthew is here. Larry Titus, TJ. Thank you all for being around and being here this morning. It's good to see you all here. Little chaos. My 35, 37, 43, 45 AI Iron Condor moved against me. Okay. Let's just take a look here where we're at here on this. Hang on a second. Let me get this done here. And okay, it closed at 32.87 last night. So moved against me while I was busy in a meeting. Ended up closing the call side and then rolling the puts into 30, 32 and a half. Debit spread for January. We'll see how it goes. Interesting stuff. Home Skillet, 30 thumbs ups. Good morning. White Feather, my career ended when I was 44. I'm 56 now. My goal is building a financial legacy for my son. How about that? Hawkeye is here, number 78. Thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. I had a permanent injury, so I don't work anymore. Cody says, I got you. All right, got you. Charlie, buy the jet. I'll fly it. See, Charlie's a pilot. You can hire an option writer to be your pilot, so you can talk to your pilot, between flights about writing options. You see, there you go. Does this show you? Does this tell you what's going on? Isn't that something? Stephen Butler, number 82. Option Nomads, I'm 83. Flint Creek, hey kiddos. Charlie, just awaiting SoFi to hit $25 a share. That's all I'm waiting for. That's all we need. Splair got lost, took the wrong bus, but he figured it out. Splair, thank goodness you're okay. Manager Uncle Bruce, a question. What is the expected return on investment per month that we should expect on Iron Condor? How do I answer a question like that? How does anyone answer a question like that? Iron Condors can be written with a very slight gain or a very large gain on capital invested, depending on what kind of Iron Condor is comfortable for you. Are you looking at a 1 or 2 day Iron Condor on an index? Are you happy with a 1 week Condor on a stock or an index? Are you comfortable with something longer? This is an impossible question to answer, but I guess I can answer it. I can only say this. It's likely you're going to earn a lot more money doing Iron Condors, if you're any good at it, than you would on any kind of investment that you're going to make from a dividend or a CD at a bank. And my hunch is, if you're self-managing your own portfolio and you're looking at writing Iron Condors, you're going to make more money than any professionally hired money manager or wealth manager that you've probably been exposed to. That's my hunch, because I'm sure that in your hometown city, wherever you live out there, Canada or USA or Europe, you can go to your local bankers, investment houses, and they will happily allow you to deposit with them a huge amount of money that they will manage for you under certain parameters of risk, and they'll take their pound of flesh out of there and give you a return. But something tells me that what you can make with your money will blow their numbers out of the water. And I have to think that if you're truly going to become, well off, much better off than you are now in a financial sense, you're going to want to self-manage your own money, because this is more than pays you for your time. This is a very good use of your time, is to manage your wealth. And it's got to be also good for your mental well-being to manage your own money your own way without having to worry how the markets are doing or what have you. Now, again, there are 100. How many people here? 162 right now? Let's say 162 are watching right now. There are not 1.6 million people watching this show right now. There's only 162 of you here. And I have a hunch that most of you are interested in self-managing your money. And I say good on you. But the reality is that you guys make up not even 1% of the investment family out there. There are probably 99.9% more people out there who have no idea I exist, or they do and they don't give a crap what I have to say, or they don't believe in what I talk about because, you know, why would I believe a balding, white-haired guy sitting in Calgary, Alberta, about the market? I'm like, who's this? Who's this guy think he is? Fair enough, but you make your own move. There are people out there who will hire people to look after their money, whether they have 50,000, 500,000, 5 million or more, and you can't talk them out of it. And it's because they don't want to take on the responsibility of managing their own money. They would rather slough that off to somebody else, and they have something more important to do. And whatever that more important to do is their business. And it's okay. It's not a wrong answer. Just because people don't do their own managing doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just that it works for them. But that's where you get an opening. You guys right here get this massive opportunity to make money with your money in ways that you would never have had come your way. Certainly none of your advisors out there will ever make the returns that you can make on your money, because you have the ultimate authority to pull the pin on a trade when you're good and ready to do so. These wealth managers that you ever visit with, if you've ever gone into one of these places, you have met someone that is likely a graduate from university in business, is probably 30 to 50 years of age, probably more 30 to 40 years of age. They're paid a percentage of the amount of money they bring in, fresh cash, and they're paid a sliver of the management fee that is managed by the firm. And so their objective is simple: to get you to bring in as much of your capital as humanly possible, and to keep hitting you up for whatever other capital comes your way as time goes by. Inheritance that you get, or you sold a second house, or whatever. And their other job is to hit you up for every relative, friend, coworker, and lead they can get their hands on to go after by using your name as the lead source to get more people in to manage their money. And then to hold you into the position. Once you're in there, they don't ever want you to leave, because the longer you stay in and your 2% fee comes out every month, 1/12 of that 2% comes out, the more money that they have under administration, this is what they call it, the bigger their paycheck gets. And if they hit certain performance parameters, they get bonus money. And this is why these people are all over you at the very beginning, to get you in and keep you in and keep you calm, and to make sure you don't get any funny ideas about taking your money somewhere else. And these folks are judged by computer printouts at head office to the regional managers, then right to you, their own managers. And they're under unbearable pressure all the time to bring in more. They never get to rest. They never are given the impression that they can relax now because you've reached a certain level of comfort and all is well. Because here's the other reality of it. Once they bring in enough dollars from the investors, they'll be to the point where their paycheck is 85% residual money, just every month money that comes to them from the residuals of all the money they brought in. And they'll bring in 10 million a month of fresh capital to add to the pot, but the pot is so big that 85% of the check is just residual. They've also figured out that they've gotten to one level, a certain level of performance, and that the next level of bonuses, they will never get there. They just are in the wrong town. They're in the wrong state. They can't compete with the New York-based guys or LA-based people, or whatever the excuse. And or they're tired. They've reached a certain level at age whatever. They have their kids. They have their homes. They have all their obligations. And they're maxed out in everything they do. And that is when the management of these outfits begin to plot the demise of this individual. They look to get them out of there. And they'll move them into a management position, or they'll suggest that you will be perfect to be a training officer for our new recruits, and they'll be offered a base salary where they won't have to do all this maintenance and all this babysitting of their clientele, and they might just make that move. And now all those residuals and all that dough reverts back to the house and is never handed out to a salesman again, because the house now keeps all those residuals, and they designate other people to just be managers of these portfolios. It's a cutthroat business, and you are just a pawn in the whole big thing, because at the end of the day, these firms have to have hundreds of millions or billions of dollars under management at all times to bring enough money in off the 2% that they're charging to cover all the overheads, all the salaries, all the business taxes, the lease costs, the parking lot cleanup fees, all the thing about being an entity, and then show a profit to the partners that own this thing. And they got to give bonuses to the money managers that are managing the dough in the first place. It requires billions and billions of dollars, and you are but a small cog in the big wheel with a small cog person that is your rep in this big wheel, and your branch is a small cog in all the branches of this big wheel. And you really are just given information electronically on how you're doing and what the fund is doing and what they're into and all that. And you try to read the info that they give you, and it's almost impossible to understand because it's filled with fancy Wall Street gobbledygook. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. That's why these skyscrapers around the world house these high-end falutin money management firms that are the most respected in the world, because these firms also have a lot of capital to throw into super PACs in all governments, not only in America, around the world, to ensure that the rules and regulations by which they operate are as loose as humanly possible to allow them to wheel and deal in any way they seem fit. And that is the name of the game. And so you want to take a look at who the banking committee is made up of in the Congress or the Senate, the oversight committees of these financial institutions, you can quickly figure out who backed their re-election campaigns for the last number of elections. If you're into that stuff, you can figure it out. You can find it. I couldn't give a crap, but it's true. They're backed by some of the biggest players in the financial world, and they never lose an election. They will be carried out in a body bag before they get defeated, because the money is endless. And that's how the world works. So you got to get your pound of flesh on your own. You got to get your own action. And so welcome all to the party and to the game plan here. Great to have you here today. All right. Let's see. Option Nomads number 83. Let's go. Credit Savage of Wall Street. Buenos dias, folks. Fires in Hawaii. Hot CPI data making the stock market go up. Bad means good. Good means bad. What's going on with the world today? Deep value, bear traps all year long. John Wirtz, for those of you who trade Poor Man Cover Calls on Fidelity, do you need the tier 3 options to do so? Any help would be greatly appreciated. A little chaos for just about every trading firm. You're going to need level 3 options enabled for it, or at least a margin account. Good morning, Bagel Familia from Not a Lurker Anymore, number 90. White Feather, John, FWIW, every brokerage I've used required level 3. John, thought so. Appreciate your help, guys. Thank you so much. Matthew, I decided to do the call side on an Iron Condor on SPY expiring today. Bought 456, wrote 455. Plan on doing this 3 times a week, but commissions are high on SPY, maybe once a week. Alberto here, but lurking. Flight to Cincinnati. Let's go, Bagel Familia. The Feds. Fidelity is level 2 for Poor Man. Luca, that fillet was great. That was fantastic. Dude, you can start a margin account at Tasty Trade for about 2,000 or 3,000. That should allow Poor Man covered calls. There you go. Welcome to the show today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It is Thursday, August the 10th, 2023. Great to have you among us today. It's great to see you all here. Hope you're going to have a fun day today. We've got the market up nicely to start the day. 210-point gain on the Dow so far, just in the last few minutes of this pre-market. We've got a 30-point gain on S&P and 144 on NASDAQ. So the market is definitely moving in the right direction this morning to start things off. And we'll see how long this lasts and how far it goes, because we've had a bit of a selling trend here, just as of late. Thank you, all of you who are members of this channel. We're just going to comment now for members only going forward. Please become a member of this channel and join the gang of regulars that are here every day as we follow these markets and compare notes. Would love to have you join us. This is the best YouTube channel, period, for interaction between viewers and members. It's absolutely fantastic. I thank you all for being followers of this channel. As members, you are keeping us on the air without any question whatsoever. It's the memberships. Thank you for those of you who are grabbing the classes. 16 of them now are available for you on stockmarketswithbruce.ca, including the latest edition, class number 16, Iron Condors. You now can learn how iron condors work and how they might work right for you and your objectives. Very good stuff. Thank you guys again for being here. Nice to see you. And let's get this party started. We're about to hit the bells here. I'm sure Larry Titus is about to give us the bells. There they are. We're up and we're open for trading today. We're going to find out what this market wants to give us. At the moment, it's a gain of 200 on the Dow as of the pre-market. We'll find out the actual market here in a few moments, and we'll kind of take it from there. Way to go, kids. A number of you were able this week to buy back covered calls that you had written for 2024, 2025 on a number of different stocks. Tesla has come down from $299. GameStop has come down from $24.25. We've had stocks backing off, which means contracts have backed off, which means rollbacks or roll downs are in the wheelhouse, have been happening here. And I say, way to go, you guys. This is how you get paid the big money, to stay on top of your option trades and bring in capital and realign your option positions to make them work for you. We've got the Dow up 218 points. We got S&P up 26, NASDAQ up 107. It's about 2/3 of a point for the Dow and the S&P, and 3/4 of a percentage point for the NASDAQ market. Oil is down 65 cents a barrel, 83.75 in Texas so far this morning. Spiders are up $3. The SPYs to 448.75. We have a 339 gain on Qs. They're at 371.30. GameStop is up 6 cents. SoFi is up 9. AI is up 80 cents to 33.67. Nvidia is down just 59 cents this morning. Rocket Lab is up 9. There was a positive article written on Rocket Lab that came out today talking about how they are the number 2 space company behind SpaceX, Elon Musk's outfit. And their numbers are improving dramatically. Their launch numbers are growing dramatically. They're going to launch more rockets into space, more satellites, and they got a clientele list a mile long to satisfy. So they're going to be very busy for a long, long time, and they're going to become profitable. It's only a matter of a few more quarters, and they're going to be on the plus side of their cash flow. They have $300+ million in the bank. They're in good shape. White Feather says, I put in a stink bid to buy back my Friday Iron Condors. Hopefully I'll miss any end of the week shenanigans. And Deep Value is up big this morning. Giddy on up. AI up 96 now. Nvidia's up 96. Rocket Lab up 12. Matterport unchanged. We've got what else going on here? Unity up 51. Tesla's up $4. Apple up 130. Google up 166. Moderna up $1. Cisco up 67. Pfizer up 8. IBM up 83 cents. HPQ up 28. Microsoft up 429 today. Very good. Amazon up 181. We've got Home Depot up 336. Vanik up 99. Netflix up 280. Adobe up $7. Goldman up 280, Boeing up $2, Facebook up 229, Target up 153, JP Morgan up 89, Costco up 549, Walmart up $1.20, Disney up 260 to $90, American Airlines up 17 cents and DraftKings up 19 cents so far this morning. The Dow is now a solid 282 higher, 0.78 of a percentage point. We've got S&P up 29. We've got NASDAQ up 101 right now. So we have a good start going at the moment. Wing Commander Uncle Bruce, thoughts on closing just one leg of the Iron Condor when things get slightly uncomfortable? For example, I've just closed SPY, the 450.52 leg. I'm going to let the lower leg, 437.39, expire worthless. Yeah, I mean, look, the Spider is now 448.75. You have 450.52s. You're out. Fair enough. And now you've got those puts that are worth nothing. You could buy them back for virtually nothing, but pay a commission to do so, or take the gamble that you're going to let them die worthless as the day goes on. After all, Spiders are now just at 449, and you're sitting at 437, 439. You're 100 S&P points away from having a problem, and the S&P is up 34 right now. So, yeah, you're okay doing that. Wing Commander still 48% profit with SPY and triple Qs. There are not just broker fees, but also exchange fees. And so, look, you've got to factor out the numbers. You're learning all of this on the fly. It's only been a week and a half, 2 weeks by tomorrow. And so many of you are quickly figuring out how this can work for you, the best way it can work for you. And there are moments where the best move you can make is just to buy up contracts, close out, and create new condors, taking advantage of the time frame now until the close tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. Others of you are going to close out, let the contracts expire worthless. You're not going to do anything until the end. Let it go for nothing. No fees, no commissions, and then you'll start again tomorrow. Every one of you has your own way of wanting to do this, and that is the point of this whole thing. You find what works for you and go with it. It's okay. We're up 307 on the Dow. Very nice start, 0.89 of a percentage point. So that's a good little move here. We're up 0.86 of a percentage point, up 38 now on SPY. NASDAQ up 130 points, 0.96 of a percentage point. A very good start to the session to get things up and running. Spiders 449.48, and we're up 391 on triple Qs. Very good. GameStop is back to $20, up 7 cents. SoFi is up 6 cents to 905. AI is up 66.53 to 33.40 roughly. Nvidia's green, up 177 at the moment. Rocket Lab up 17 now to 662, with more good news coming out through analytic reports. Stock is not where it was yesterday morning, 747. We hit the high yesterday, 662 right now, but it is a 17-cent improvement. Matterport up a half a penny. SmartRent down 11. ATIP up a nickel. Unity up 26. Tesla up $5. Apple up 130. Google up 150. So we got a nice green wave showing on a bunch of stocks right now, and the market is going in the right direction. I read an article a couple days ago. I had to reread it again the other day. It's a bit of a complex story, but I will say this: there are probably hundreds of hedge funds and other institutional investors involved in a series of trades that are going on out there. And it might be thousands around the world, along with millions of investors piling in to kind of join the party. And what's been happening in the last while is, ever since the banking thing, the regional banking issues 3-4 months ago, when those surfaced up, we had the VIX go up. The VIX rose. That's the volatility index. It went up as high as, I think, 30. And some people began wagering money that VIX index will come back down as the banking crisis gets resolved. And it did get resolved. It wasn't perfect. Some banks disappeared, some merged, but things calmed down after a few weeks. and the VIX began to improve because the market as a whole realized this is not a banking wide crisis we're into here. It's an isolated event in some regionals. The Fed is on it, the Treasury is on it, regulators are on it. Okay, we can concentrate now on the market again and the economy and interest rates and inflation and profitability. So, what began to happen was a complex series of transactions started to get done that were sort of interrelated with each other. And it was a gamble to bet on the markets going up, VIX volatility coming down. And the more that the VIX volatility would come down, the thinking was the markets would go higher. And what ended up happening was a series of calls, call and put contracts were bought and written on various instruments, including the SPY, the triple Qs. Options were acquired on stocks in the Magnificent Seven. Stocks themselves were acquired in the Magnificent Seven, and a concentrated push was on to buy in to the Magnificent Seven stocks that we saw move up a lot for several months and take advantage of writing contracts and going long on contracts. And this apparently has added a significant number of points to the SP 500 and the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. However, since Apple came out with a so-so report, 1% drop in sales, even though they made more money because of better margins, and Microsoft came out with not stellar numbers, their stock dropped, and others of the Magnificent Seven have had mixed results. There is a concern out there that these derivative trades, many of which are off the board, you can't watch them ourselves, many of these derivative wagers of tens of billions of dollars, we're not talking about a couple $1,000,000 here, we're talking tens of billions of dollars in a wager of a higher market, has become vulnerable. And the question now is, if these trades start to unwind, where stocks are sold and options are bought back and other options are sold off instead, the thinking is there could be pressure on the S&P 500, triple Qs, the Dow, for lower values, because we're seeing an economic slowdown. We're seeing interest rates hold where they are. Okay, we saw inflation today, not bad, not good, somewhere in the middle. Market seems to like it. The question is, are the economic conditions for the next 6 months going to be worse, the same, or better going forward? And if the thinking is that more people are worried about the same or less rather than the same or better, this unwinding could be happening of all of these positions that were created over the last 3-4 months. And the talk is, speculation, is that 500 SPY points could be on the table, which is 50 spider points. Okay, would take spider from 450 to 400. That's the general fear and cautionary tale being mentioned by some analysts out there. And I'm kind of wondering, have we already begun that? Did it start at 455 and we're now at 449 and we got down to 444 yesterday? Have we already lost 11 or 12 of the 50? And we're just doing a little dead cat bounce right now? Is that all this is? A little dead cat bounce for a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week. We have a little dead cat bounce for a whole week. And everyone figures, oh, that's no problem. That's all gone away. But then it comes back to bite us in the second or third or fourth week of August. How is this going to play out? I don't know. I'm mentioning it to you as a general thing, just to give it to you in a plain English kind of way, because I am not explaining any of the real details here. I'm not going to bother you with that. But I wanted to throw you this little story that has been making the rounds, that some out there who are Wall Street aficionados are saying There's a possibility we may have a 500-point pullback on the S&P 500. Now, that would mean about 11 or 12%, because we're at 4,500 right now. So to 4,000 on the S&P 500, it would be a 500-point drop. That'd be about 11, 12 points. In one day? No. Accelerated? Yeah, maybe in 2 weeks, in a week. If it were to happen, it could happen that quickly. But is it happening right now? It doesn't look like it. The other day we had slumps, and we've noticed the last few days. You've probably seen this yourselves. You look at charts like the S&P 500 chart, the Dow chart, the NASDAQ chart, or triple Q charts or SPY charts. You'll notice that during the day, there have been days where there's been a steady climb until about noon hour, 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, and then a sudden drop, and then a little bounce back at the end. And then the next day, a climb, another one. Is this what's going on? Is this what's happening? Is what's going on here a bunch of institutions slowly but surely waiting for a certain point in time where their computer systems say, sell now, get out now, and take 2% of your position out now. You got 98% left, and then a day or so later, you're down to 96%. A few days later, you're down to 94%. These positions are billions of dollars, okay? Tens of billions globally or more. And to unwind them can't be done in one day without a shock, a major shock. So you may be seeing slow but sure liquidation of these kinds of positions, which means that some call options are being dumped on the S&P 500s, SPYs, triple Qs. Perhaps call options have been written and are being bought back on dips on the Magnificent Seven, and shares of the Magnificent Selling being offloaded as these option positions are being offloaded. Again, I am speculating and throwing it at you as just a little heads up, just to say this is a theory being bandied about. Now, what can happen is the absolute opposite in real life, where one group of people thinks that this might be happening with a great unwinding of a bunch of positions, when in reality, there are so many buyers with so much more cash looking to get into the market because they missed the move that we had the last couple of months. We had this market go up and a bunch of people didn't move into the market. And now they're behind and they want to get into the market at a decent value. And they're looking for their opportunities to buy. And what might be happening lately, just in this last few days, we've had these midday drop-offs. And this sideline money starts coming in for the last 2 hours of the day. Doesn't come in at the opening, it comes in at the end. And it buys up all the sellers, all the shaky, loosey-gooseys, they're picking them all off. And they're buying up the Apple. They're buying up the Microsoft. They're getting the Google, the Amazon. They're getting Facebook. They're zeroing in on NVIDIA. They're picking off the Magnificent Sevens on these dips. And then they're looking for them to go higher. But first, they want to get in, and they need to put in billions of dollars in these positions. It's going to take days and weeks to do so. And so they're patiently and occasionally making their move into these markets when it gives them an opportunity to do so. In the meantime, the rest of the world, which could be 90% of the money, is watching all of this activity and wondering, when do I get in? When do I get out? How do I get in? How do I get out? How much do I get in for? How much do I get out for? And we get the day traders in the middle of all this who are just, look, I just want to make a couple of dimes on these trades, man. I want to buy 100,000 Apple and I want to sell 100,000 Apple for 20 cents a share more. That's all I want. Others are saying, I'll short 10,000 Apple and buy them back for 20 cents less all day long. I just want to be in volatility, man. I want to be in action. Just give me the action. So we have all kinds of people with all kinds of objectives here, including Iron Condor creators, cash secured buyers, poor man covered call creators, and covered call writers. We got them all here as well. So welcome to the party. We're at 450 on the Spider, 450.55. It's an up day. We're up 482 on the SPYs. which means a lot of those puts that you guys set up are worthless. If they're expiring tonight or tomorrow, you have noticed puts have gone zeros. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10 cents each. They're really knocked off. Now you got to keep an eye on your calls, and you might decide to close out your puts this morning, and you might rewrite your puts later today again, depending if there's a dip or not. You might be waiting to buy back your calls to close out your position. You've taken out your puts, and all you're doing now is waiting to take out your calls. And you're waiting to see if this market has a slump this afternoon, and you're going to take your call position out of your condor. You took the 1 step, the 2 step, you're done. You might be doing that today too. Lots to watch, lots to follow. And thank you all for being here. White Feather, have a great one. See you tomorrow. Splair, just in case, wishing you all a regular great day. Splair, have a good day working. Make a bunch of money out there. You need the money. We're up 375 today on the Dow. The Dow is not having a bad day at this point. We're up 47 on S&P. That's 1 full percentage point now on both these indexes. And NASDAQ is up 1.25%, up 170 right now. Those of you who bought back calls yesterday on some of your stocks, you're looking at hopefully some higher premiums today as stocks recover somewhat. And you might be ready to rewrite some calls as the morning presses ahead. We'll wait for that. NVIDIA's up $6.50. AI is up $1 to $33.90. Rocket Lab is up 20 now to $6.64. The low of the day on AI was $33.17 today. I thought we were in the 32s last night. So we're now at $33.90, almost 34 on AI. On NVIDIA, now $4.32 a share. The low of the day today, $4.18. $14 improvement on NVIDIA today. This is a pretty good move here, and it's helping the markets. The Dow, like I said, up 366, Spider up 460, Triple Q's up 490, GameStop up 22, SoFi up a dime, AI up $1, NVIDIA up $7, Rocket Lab to now 666, where it was Thursday, the day before, Wednesday before the earnings came out. We're back to 666, up 22. We have Unity up 53, Tesla now up $7, Apple up 150, Google up 178, Moderna up $1, Cisco up a healthy 74 cents now on Cisco, Pfizer up 5, IBM up $1.48 to 143.97. HPQ is up 26. We've got Microsoft up 4.14. Amazon up $1.90, Home Depot up $3.50, Vanek Vectors up $2.20, Netflix up $6.60. Good day here. Adobe up $5.80, Goldman up $3.40. It is a up across the board kind of market pretty well. Boeing up $2.94, Meta and Facebook is up $6, Target up $1, JP Morgan 126 higher, Costco 5.90, Walmart up 84, Disney up 91, American Airlines up 14, DraftKings up 15 cents. So far so good. We'll see how long it lasts. Will there be after the first hour a slump, a little give back and another rally, and then a big give back later? Do we go into the red at all today, or do we stay green and close strong? Where are we going? I'll let you know when I see it. I don't know. This is early morning, early market. We're 22 minutes into the day, and there's a lot going on. Are you having fun, everybody? Fool of a Took. I'm looking forward to our one-on-one today. Yes, sir, I am. I am too. We'll be doing that this morning. I'm looking forward to it. If any of you are interested in having a one-on-one, I can do one-on-ones during the week at the moment. Usually about 1 or 2 Eastern time is when I can do one-on-one. So if anybody would like one for tomorrow, Friday, let me know as soon as you can. Saturday, I think I can do a one-on-one. Sunday as well. I just got to check with Auntie Jen to see what her schedule is, because we are getting closer to departure for Europe, and we've got some running around to do and loose ends to tie up. But we'll check it out. So let me know if any of you would like a one-on-one. Send me a private email at brucefrommert@hotmail.com. There it is, right there, and just let me know you'd like to do a one-on-one, and let me know what day kind of works for you, and we'll see if we can figure a time and get you in there. If you want to learn how to write options and especially iron condors, head over here, stockmarketswithbruce.ca, and check out the website. You'll find all 16 classes available now, and you can grab your favorites there and learn all about how to do iron condors, poor man cover calls, regular cover calls, cash secured puts, you name it. We cover it all over there, and more coming as well. So welcome one, welcome all. We're up 367 on the Dow. We're hitting highs, 379 even. So we're approaching this 400 level for the high on the session already in only 24 minutes. Very good. Spiders are now 450.45. Triple Qs 372.92. GameStop is up 19. SoFi is up 16 to 9.15 a share. AI up 136, 34.23 on the AI. I know cash secured put writers are happy today. NVIDIA up 666 to 432.20 now. Rocket Lab up 22. Matterport is up 4. SmartRent just down 7 now. We're seeing some more upticks showing up. Unity up 54. Tesla up 720. Apple up 195. We're climbing across the board. All right, there it is. That's the story. SpaceX valuation rose by 12%, says fund where rocket launcher is top holding. I got to think that if this thing is up 12, then Rocket Lab should be up 12 to 20% as well, because they're also firing on all cylinders very nicely. Way to go, Rocket Lab. Siemens, which is a German-based engineering firm, they build trains, they build subways, they build all kinds of stuff. They're blaming that they missed their sales target on China. Economic woes in China. I'm not surprised to see this. The Chinese economy is in a big mess right now, having all kinds of problems. The domestic real estate market in China is an absolute mess. The banking system is in trouble. Unemployment is much higher than previous forecast. University graduates are 25% are unemployed at the moment, not looking good. Export numbers are way off. Oil import numbers are way down, and yet oil is only down 57 cents. If there's any manipulation going on, I don't know. We'll find out. The Dow is up just about 400 points right now. 396 is the gain on the Dow. 1.1%. S&P up 1.1. 49.87. That is a 496 move on the spiders. 496. We rarely get these kinds of up days on spiders lately. We usually get half a percentage point. This is 1.1% right now on the S&P 500. The triple Qs are up 535, so that's a good day over there. Giddy up, everybody. Hope you're happy with the way it's going for you, and hope you're getting richer. Nice stuff. Option Nomads, is it time to adjust my triple Qs? The Iron Condor, my calls are 375.76, and the market is 373.31, and the puts are 359.60 now. So the lower end is safe, but the upper end is getting close, and it expires tomorrow. Well, you want to take a look at your spread on those two calls. The one call you have is going up for you because you're long the call. The other call is going up that you wrote. However, what did you write them and buy them for originally? And if you were to close them out now, what kind of spread would you have and how would it do for you? You can certainly look for an expiry tomorrow for higher priced on the calls. You could look into it. And the question is, can you move up, say, $1 or $2 on both of these, a $2 move for each of them or so? Will it cost you anything? In other words, the call you're selling and then buying back, which means you're going to sell the 376 and maybe buy a 378. What's the difference between those two? And is that enough to compensate you from buying back your 375 and maybe writing a 377? Are you ahead on this? Is it a break even for you? What's the story? On the puts on the put side, what if you close those out and then create two new puts, one you've written, one you're buying, $2 or $3 higher? You might want to do that. On the other hand, you might not do anything because at 370, 350, these calls are still out of the money, and you've noticed their shrinkage. If this market gives up, 150 points later today, instead of being up 411, we're only up 260 on the Dow, and the Nasdaq, instead of being up 200, we're up like 130. These Qs will drop a little bit, and all of a sudden your calls will really shrink out. I mean, they'll be 2, 3, 4 out of the money all of a sudden in a hurry, and that gets you back to your mid range. You don't have to do anything. You certainly have to. There's no hurry to do anything, but only if it's to your advantage financially would I be looking at a rollover right now. Splair, great, made around $70 thanks to that 10-minute delay, says Splair. Right on, Splair. We're up 416 on the Dow, 425 over here on the Dow. We're up 55 on S&P, 1.2%. NASDAQ up 1.5%, up 209 right now. So NASDAQ is outdoing the rest of the markets. Will all three markets have a little slump in the second hour of their session and give up maybe a third of these gains for a while? That'll affect all your contracts out there on all your condors. And it might give you folks, some of you folks, the exit strategy you're looking for contracts that die today or tomorrow. You may be offered an opportunity to do a closeout of your iron condors where you lock in significant profits. Cross your arms and keep an eye. That's my main advice at this point. 438 gain on the Dow, 440 on the Dow. Sooner or later, we'll top out. All right, very interesting. Neat, says Splair. Options, thanks. I'll sit tight for a few hours to see how this plays out. Right on option nomads. Rock and roll. Pace to wait. Pace to cross your arms. Pace to be patient. Of course, the spiders are up now 577. That doesn't mean that calls have gone up 577. Calls that were out of the money this morning by $7 are now out of the money by $5. $1.30, they're still out of the money. They've gone up a bit, sure, but they've also lost time. They die tomorrow. So any kind of a pullback here will really affect the little run up that these calls have had. They'll get whacked pretty hard on the way back. And that's why you may want to just chillax and just kind of observe this phenomena that's going on right now and not really worry too much about it. Let's take a look here. August 11 expiry is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look and see what those look like right now. Here we go. August 11 expiry. And let's take a look at some of these calls, actually. Calls. Again, we're looking at 375. Sorry, triple Qs. I apologize. It's triple Qs, not SPYs. That's my mistake. QQQ. All right, let's take a look at those. There we go. Qs. Okay, option nomads. We'll get to this. Just hang on one sec here. All right, yeah, 374 right now on the Qs, and you're at 376, 75, 76, so you're just ahead. You're still okay, and we're 359.60 on the puts. Got it? All right, and now let's go to options here on my big S iPad and take a look at this. Where are we at here? Waiting for this to come through. Good morning, Jen. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. Okie dokie.
Air going down the hall?
Yeah, this morning it was so cold.
It was.
I had to shut the darn thing. It was too cold for me.
It was like 11 or something this morning.
For some reason, I can't get my August to show. My August won't pop up, so I can't even help you on the quotes. Sorry, my market watch is finicky on my big S iPad, but I would wait definitely. And I think you're on the right track, Nomad. Yeah, we're up 622 at 374 on the triple Qs. The highs of 374.20 on. We're at the high now. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Let's see what it does the next hour.
They came out with good numbers this morning, didn't they?
Well, there was a
The
mixed
economy.
bag. Yeah, there was the what was it? The unemployment thing was it's kind of like a preview of the unemployment number.
Yeah.
Showing slight rise in the unemployment rate by 1/10 of a point. The market liked that.
Okay.
Then the inflation number came out,
Yeah.
and then what we found was after the inflation number came out, like the gross number, then we got the breakdown of sub inflation numbers. Like we
Right.
started getting the like we got the excluding gasoline in this
Right.
number
Yeah.
and including food, excluding food this number.
Yeah.
So that was showing in some cases a little bump up, but not much. And then the bump up wasn't anything to worry about, and the market likes it. So the market is using whatever excuse it wants to go up at the moment.
Right.
And now we're about 34 minutes into the session. We're up 444, 445 on the Dow, high of the day. And we're up 58 on S&P. We're up 200 on NASDAQ, which is 1.2, 1.3, and 1.6% for the three indexes. So they're up after being down 150 yesterday. The Dow's up 450 now. Oil down 52 cents because these numbers are not
52
showing
cents.
a super strong economy. They're showing a moderating economy, which is what the market kind of wants, which is funny because a moderating economy is making the market go up.
Yeah.
What? It's contrary. We were oversold a little bit, and so we're getting a little bump now. And so, yeah, here we go. We're all over the place. Yeah. The triple Qs are backing up a little bit. They got up to 374.36, I think it was. They might be backing off a little bit here as we speak. Yeah, 374.36, 374.13. Little pullback at the moment. This is not unexpected either. JR, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Good morning, JR.
Richard Carlin, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Hi, good morning, Richie.
Fool of a Took says hi. He's looking forward to our one-on-one today.
Nice.
So we'll be doing that a little later on today. Rock and roll. Yeah, we're having generally a good day. Our GameStops are up 25 cents. SoFi's up 18. Artificial intelligence AI up 149 to 34.36. I know a guy in Israel that's going to be grinning right now. NVIDIA 434 up 850. Rocket Lab up 12. Matterport up 9. We've got Unity up 68. Tesla up 920. Apple up 230.
Okay.
Google up 230. Moderna up 160. Cisco up 91. Pfizer up 12. IBM up $1.74. It's all green here. Microsoft up 579. Amazon up 250.
Rebound from yesterday's down day.
Definitely. Adobe up $9. Goldman up 420. Boeing up 260. Facebook up 680. So it's a good session this morning. We're happy about that. BW, the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ creating bag holders for decades on lowered expectations and euphoric buying. There you go.
Yes.
There you go. A lot of bag holders out there chasing options that you guys can take advantage of through iron condors and cash secured puts and writing cover calls. And you guys have been doing it all week, all month, last 2 years. It is coming back to pay you nicely. Well done, everybody. Way to go, kids. Having fun. Yes, indeed. Catching these waves. I wouldn't be surprised if we give up some ground in this next hour. You can't just go straight up. It's not going to last. So maybe a 200-point pullback might be in the Dow's future here. Maybe S&P will give up 25 of these 56 points to sort of moderate a while. And then we'll see where the market goes from that, whether it holds it, gains again, or drops further. And for some of you in these condors, you're just sitting here going, hey, man, you come up to this level and you still haven't broken my call barrier at all. You drop now 3 or 4 points. I'm a happy camper because my calls will go, whoa, and there you go.
There you go.
It's all good stuff.
It's all good.
Oh, Auntie Jen, the
fun.
Oh, gosh, yeah, my wheels were just having trouble. I'll be napping later.
Get a fly swatter so you can hit those flies around your head inside.
Got too much going on here. I'm thinking about too many people's positions and where they're at, and what they're doing, and our trip is coming up, and yeah. The brain is just zinging right now.
It's like those little tops, where you pull the string and
that's right. That's right.
That's your brain.
It's crazy.
This is your brain on options.
Dude says, Uncle Bruce, these iron condors are keeping me busy. I'm learning a new platform and iron condors at the same time. I'm giving myself a handicap on the month. Had some roll issues that cost me, but I'm still net. I think net ahead here.
Learn a new platform
BW, sorry, Jen, I forgot to say hello and good morning and hello and welcome and hello. So there you are from BW.
Good morning.
There you go.
Hello.
Right on, Brian. And we got all kinds of comments coming through from all kinds of people on all kinds of different trades here. Lots going on. Triple Qs are backing up here. We're 373.98 after topping at 374.36. So a little pullback. The Dow is ahead 434, a little lower. Nothing serious yet. We'll see if there's any kind of a pullback going on. Dude, good morning. Jen from Dude. There you go. Rock and roll dude. Welcome to the show and the party. Dude.
So I know where you don't just go like dude.
No, dude. No, dude. That's right. That is correct. Oh man. So what are our plans for the weekend? What are we up to? Will I be doing one-on-ones on Saturday or Sunday? Is my calendar?
I don't know what we're doing.
I can't remember.
Weekend. Next weekend we're very busy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next weekend it's
crazy time.
We're off. No way can I do anything on Saturday, and Sunday is going to be. I probably will have an opening for a couple one-on-ones, but we're packing too.
Sleep in and possibly have a minor hangover. Sunday
it's you,
me.
not me.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly going to a little event on Saturday night. Let's just leave it at that. Before we take off on Tuesday. Hopefully by Tuesday, Jen will
I think this weekend is kind of mellow, just same stuff.
It's kind of our last quiet weekend.
And maybe have, like a practice pack.
Yeah, it's our last quiet weekend in Calgary. Next weekend is mayhem, and the weekend after that we're in London, England. So
I know
we're very aware of big move coming here.
Pulling out the shoes and seeing which ones you want to take with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I found a nice pair of like walking shoes yesterday. It's like this new kind of slip-in runner, but it was really a walking shoe. The tread on it was really nice, and they were very comfortable. Lots of room for my toes. They were $170.
Ridiculous.
I just can't.
Can't do that.
I won't. I just won't do it.
Won't spend that kind of money on footwear. No, not worth it.
Not on a silly runner.
No.
I know that the Air Jordan people are now going, are you kidding?
$170.
Yeah.
That's nothing, man.
Come on.
Spend $2,000 on our sneakers.
And I don't wear them.
I don't even wear those. I just look at them. I don't even take them out of the box.
I put them on the wall.
Yeah, man. What are you talking about? $170. Yeah, there's certain footwear you just don't want to spend money on. You just go, no, this is too. This is ridiculous, because you know that the wholesale on it is $85, and they were made for $25. So you're sitting there going, these are $25 sneakers that they want $170 for. No, I'm not gonna have it. I'll wait for a closeout.
6-year-old got paid to make.
Yeah, I think I'll wait for a closeout. I'll wait for last year's fashions to come off now at 80% off. Then I'll buy them.
Just have to look through my closet.
Right.
See what I wore last
Maybe we have to go to Harrods in London and find a discount pair of shoes
no
there.
Way.
Nice cheap runners in Harrods.
Go to Harrods? Oh man.
Knightsbridge. We'll go to some of the nice.
Might have to go to Harrods and walk past the chocolate display.
That's going to be impossible. It can't be done. You can't do that in Harrods. Very difficult. We're going to have to see. Maybe we can find a deal on clothing in London or in Berlin or Copenhagen or something.
I don't know. Find deals in London.
Yeah. Might be deals in Liverpool as opposed to London. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'll see.
I'm going to go have some English breakfast tea.
Oh, how lovely.
Then I can do a taste comparison.
Yes.
To get a breakfast tea in England doesn't taste the same as the
English breakfast in Calgary versus London in comparison taste test.
That's right. Maybe in England I'll have Irish breakfast tea.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah.
So I'll just keep moving it around the world.
You certainly can't find in London any kind of a Calgary Stampede breakfast. You're not going to find that.
There's no breakfast tea there.
That's true. We don't have Stampede breakfast tea anyway. Just pancakes.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, and then it's Canadian maple syrup in London, of course. Alrighty.
Bye.
Alrighty, Jen. Have a good one.
Yes.
Thanks for
You
popping
guys
in here.
too.
That's
Make
right.
some money.
Let's make some money out there, people. Get richer. Yeah, baby. Giddy on up. Right on. Where are we at now? The triple Qs are about 50 cents off the high of the day today. So a little pullback there, which gives a little breathing room to our friend here, Option Nomads. Well done. Yeah, those calls 375.76, and now we're at 370. Where are we at? 373.90. They're nowhere near 376 at the moment. Hopefully, we'll see how it plays out. Option Nomads. We'll see how it plays out. Right on, guys. Welcome to the party, everybody. Oh, finally, I got my triple Qs showing up. I got a triple Q quote on options. It only took 5 minutes for my computer to cough it up. A big ass iPad, I should say, to cough up. So these expire. I thought you said tomorrow. Did you not? Yeah, they expire tomorrow. So that's the 11th. So let's take a look at the 11th here, and these contracts, which are. As I said, I have a great memory, but it's incredibly short. Excuse me. Yeah, Nomads, 75.76. Okay, 375.76. Yeah, 375s as of 10 minutes ago. 114, and the 76 were 81. So amazing. The triple Qs are up 580, and the 375s only went up 51 cents. As of 10 minutes ago. The 76s are only up 39 cents with a 590 move on the index, showing you how far out they were and how little they're going anywhere. These 76s are 81 cents. The 75s are 114. They're worthless. They have no value right now. They're not in the money. And so, yeah, they've gone up, but not much. You come back to like the 363s, they're in the money now. They're trading at $10. They're up $2.39. 365s are worth $8.70. They've gone up $3 a piece today. So they've gained 3 of the 580, but they're at true book value with an expiry tomorrow. Beyond these 375.76s, you go higher than that. And this is what I was telling you earlier. The 383s are 3 to 4 cents. The 382s are 5 to 6 cents. The 381s are 9 to 10 cents. The 380s are 16 to 17 cents. So the higher and further away from the money, they're worthless, very worthless. I mean, there are virtually 1 penny bids on 385s and over. So the 373 market, the 374 market, with a day to go, $10 and higher, they're worth very little money. 383 and above, they're less than 3 cents each, 4 cents each. That's where if you would have written 3-4 days ago, triple Qs with a 20 to 25 point spread, you would have written 380 somethings and you would have written 350 somethings on the put side. You would have been involved in those two contracts, calls and put. You'd be that far gone. Well, both of those sides now are virtually worthless. On the puts, for example, a 350 put is 2 to 3 cents. A 355 put is 4 to 5 cents. So if you would have created an iron condor between 350 and 385 or something like that several days ago, there would have been premium there on both of those sets of contracts, calls and puts. And the credit spread is what you'd be dealing with right now. Now, if you would have had 35 cents credit spread on the establishment of those trades, or 45 cents or 55 cents, you may have written 10 of each or 20 of each or 30 of each. This morning, all of these contracts are worth 1, 2, 3, 4 cents each. That's all. And some you own and some you're short. So you would have closed out this morning. You would be closing out right now if you wanted these 4 contracts. You would have just shut them all down, shut the iron down, and you would have walked away with 90% of your profit without waiting for tomorrow's close. There you go. And that's 20 times, you make 20 times 45 cents, $900, 30 times $13.50 for a 2-3 day trade that you would have established maybe on Monday. This is Thursday. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about with Iron Condor writing. Write index condors that are good for a week, sure, but you're so far out from the current level, like way out, those contracts will become worthless well before expiry date, and that's the strategy to look into. Just saying. All righty. Thank you all. Let's see what's going out. Let's go. I got everything here. And good morning, Jen. Irish coffee with every breakfast is true. BW Nordstrom Rack? Yeah, maybe the Nordstrom Rack. There you have it, everyone. Welcome to the party, everybody. Glad to have you with us. So appreciated. Thank you to those of you who are throwing a thumbs ups our way. We've got 113 so far today. Appreciate the 113. If you're able to hit the thumbs ups at all, please do and give us a little bit of a boost. It would be lovely to see it and have it happen. I want to honor the Knights of Ni by making sure they know I care and that I respect their existence and know that the markets will only do what we want them to do if we honor the Knights of Ni. And this is probably the only channel on YouTube that honors the Knights of Ni almost every day that we're on. Ni. And there you go, Knights of Ni. Thank you. We honor you. We thank you for all your guidance. We know you'll keep the markets in line because there are people out there who mean us harm, but the Knights of Ni are protectors of all of us. We thank you all so very, very much. Here we go. There it comes. The Big E is in here. Richard Carlin is in here. Ni. Don't get in the way of the Ni emojis from some of these viewers. You will get hurt. That's all there is to it. We're ahead 407 on the Dow Jones at the moment, holding on to a bit of a gain here. It's been an okay day, but we've given up a little bit of ground, which is expected. We were certainly looking for that. The triple Qs went from 374.30 to 373.40, so we've given up 90 cents on the triple Qs. This is helping, obviously, you Iron Condor creators out there. The Dow up 396, 400 right now. Maria Powell, neat, spicy, neat. That's right. Here they come. Giddy up. Up 51 on S&P. We're up 193 on NASDAQ. And so we're seeing some pullback. The spiders are, SPYs are 450.83 after topping out at 451.70. We've given up almost 90 cents on those. Still up 508 on the session at the moment. GameStop up 28, SoFi up 20, AI up 126, NVIDIA up 470. Rocket Lab is ahead by 21. Matterport up 9 cents. Even SmartRent is up 4.5 now. They've all gone green over there. We got Unity up 57, Tesla up 840, Apple up 180, Google up 180, Moderna up 188, Cisco up $1.08, and Pfizer up 18. Lots of eights going around here. IBM up 183, Microsoft up 450, Amazon up $2, Home Depot up 370, Vanik is up 230, Netflix up 820, Adobe up 820, Goldman up 340, Boeing up 280, Meta up 550. Target up 160, JP Morgan up 115, Costco up 797, Walmart up 112, Disney up 160, and American Airlines AAL up 14, DraftKings up 44 cents. Welcome all to the party. Luca's here. Neat. Don't miss those knee emojis. Everyone is there. We honor the Knights of Ni, and they take good care of us. A lame duck dollar, neat, and a bagel. Thank you so very much. All of you, thank you for being here today. 100 on hour and 48 minutes into the show. Appreciate the support. The Ni emojis, 118 thumbs ups. They keep coming in here. Keep hitting that thumbs up button for us. And let's ride this thing as much as we can. Karen D. Neat. Thank you, Karen, for being here. 388-point gain. The Dow has given up a little bit of the ground so far. Nothing too crazy. S&P is up 51. We're up 1.15%. The NASDAQ up 191, up 139 of a percentage point. So a little bit of a pullback happening where we're watching the market give up a little bit of ground. It looks like about $1 on the triple Qs, and on the SPYs, we are off almost about 91 cents or so at the moment, what we're seeing at the moment. There you have it. That's the story. We'll see what kind of waves we get. Will we have a higher wave or a little bit of a lower wave and then a recovery and then another lower wave? We'll find out. A lot of green arrows this morning are showing up, and we'll see if they can hang around and how much. 9.18 now on SoFi, up 19 cents. Cash secured put writers are happy there. GameStop 2026, cash secured writers who wrote yesterday are happy there. AI 34.10 up $1.23. Any cash secured put writers are probably grinning right now on this one. Nvidia's up $477, $430 a share. Rocket Lab cash secured put writers $666 up 21. You got to be loving this. We'll see where it goes from here. Welcome one and all to our party today. Nice to have you all in the house. There you go. That's the story. If you're interested in a one-on-one, let me know. We'll see if we can set you up. Come go over your trading patterns and where you're at with your contracts, where are you at with your stock? Should you sell your shares? Should you convert them to deep in the money calls? Should you become a cash secured put writer? Should you consider iron condors? If so, or what kind? How are you finding it? All that sort of stuff. If you want to have a one-on-one to review all of that, you let me know and we'll get together, whether it's for yourself or for you and your significant other at the same time. We'll get together and have a chat and figure it out together. Okay, everybody? Thank you all so much for being around today. Let's take a look at this big market now. 407 gain on the Dow. We're down 50 on oil. I see interest rates here hanging around the 4% mark for the 10-year U.S. Treasury, 4.009%. On the foreign currency front, the euro is hanging on to 110.25. The pound is holding out at 127.59. About a 4/10 to a 1/2 penny gain on those two indexes or those two currencies right now. Asia was generally up 1/3 of a point to 1/2 a point. Europe right now, the European markets are ahead by 0.44 in London, 1.2% in Germany, 1.8 in France. It's a good day in Europe today. And on the Dow, we're holding a 1.17 point gain at 415. NASDAQ up 52. S&P up 52. NASDAQ up 199. And oil is up 49 cents a barrel to 83.91 right now. Whew, there you go. That is what is happening, and I'm sticking to that story right now. There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for being through here. Nice to see Rocket Lab up 22 now to 667. I'd sure like to see that go through 7 again, get up to 8. Let's get going, Rocket Lab. SoFi 916, GameStop 2025, Matterport 278 now, up 9.5 cents. 23andMe at 151, 152 range. Spire 62.2, just not going anywhere. ATIP 758, Smart Rent up to 336 a share, up 4.5. Okay, everybody, there you are. Okay, all, thank you for coming through today. 1:53. We have 6 minutes to go, and the day is done. Karen has given us knee emojis. Matthew is out there. Knee emojis. Lorraine, Uncle Jen, try Hoka sneakers. Hoka. Auntie Jen, just look at the price of Mephisto shoes. My friend wants me to buy. That's what his wife wears. There you go. We got shopping to do. Auntie Jen wants to go walking. So there's a reason Auntie Jen wants to walk, because she can walk. And we're excited about the trip coming up and her getting out there. Where last year it was tough going for us with the cane and the painkillers, and oh gosh, trying to find wheelchairs for Auntie Jen. That wasn't so much fun last year, but it's going to be a lot better this year. We're very much looking forward to the upcoming trip for sure. All right. Giddy up 135 on AI, 34.22 on AI. It is improving. Nice stuff, everyone. We'll keep an eye on all this activity here and everything else. So much to watch for right now. Thank you all for being here today, subscribing and becoming members, renewing your memberships. We love you. We thank you so very much for that. 118 on the thumbs up meter. Slowly but surely, they trickle in one at a time. If you're watching on the rerun, hit that thumbs up button for us and give us some momentum as well. It would be appreciated. 138 of you are here, hanging on to the end of the show, bitter end. Thank you all for sticking it out with us and being here with us today. We have lots to continue to follow. 9:15 on SoFi, high of the day, 9:24, hanging right in there. And let's see. Here's a headline. If you're earning $20 an hour in San Francisco, it's impossible to survive what the U.S. gets so wrong about poverty. Isn't that amazing? $20 an hour is not enough to live. The Poverty Paradox author Mark Robert Rank says tackling inequality requires looking beyond, not blaming people. We need to change the way we're looking at poverty in our nation, he says, in order to take steps to fix it. The sociology professor at Washington University in St. Louis, who has long researched poverty and inequality and written other books on the issue, uses musical chairs analogy to explain the traditional way of looking at poverty in the United States focuses on those who are experiencing it, Rank says in an interview with MarketWatch. Most economists point out that people living in poverty may have less education and fewer skills and some health problems, he said. That certainly explains who tends to lose out at this game. But that's only explaining who isn't finding a chair. It doesn't explain why there aren't enough chairs in the first place. In his book, he writes, the key is whether one chooses to analyze the losers of the game or the game itself. That's a good comment. That game, which is influenced by American ideals of success that glorify rugged individualism and self-reliance, and therefore tends to place much of the blame on individuals, includes systemic and structural problems such as the quality of education tied to property taxes, an increasing number of low-wage jobs with no health benefits, and a weak safety net. All those things combined with America's complicated relationship with race are factors in cumulative inequality, Rank says. This MarketWatch chat with the professor with the issues explores his book. Interesting article. You might want to look into that. The game itself is a game rigged so that the poor can never make it. How's this going to play out? We don't know. We just don't know. All right. We're up 403 on the Dow Jones. We've got triple Qs right now holding in here at 373.32, about $1 below the high of the session. SPY is at their 450.81, and that's about 90 cents below the high of the session as well. And that's what's going on right now. This market is not in an eager way, in a hurry to get out of here. It wants to hang around. But there have been a few adjustments lower here and there. We'll follow this and see just where it goes. Interesting stuff. 125 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for coming through for us. It is appreciated. Thank you to John Anderson. Neat actor as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And here we go. Matthew just says here, when I look to do an iron condor, I look for the biggest spread, shortest amount of time, and the furthest away from the price. There you go. That's the name of this game, my friend. That is the name of this game, and you can do very well by it. You just have to be a patient person once you take your position, and be ready to move if necessary, but otherwise sit tight and let the shrinkage come to you. Absolutely. 417 gain on the Dow. We might be near the high of the session right now. Looks like about 35, 37 points away from the high of the day. We're up 417 at the moment on the Dow. Make it now 420 point gain on the Dow as we speak. 54 on the S&P, 200 on NASDAQ. The markets are trying to hit better highs, trying to get closer to the highs of the session. Spider 451.16, high today 451.70, and triple Qs right now are 373.67, the high 374.36, about 70 cents away still from the high of our session today. We'll see if this has any legs to it or not. SoFi up 15, GameStop up 23, AI up 127, NVIDIA up 534, Rocket Lab up 16. We got Matterport up 9.5, SmartRent up 5 cents. So we've got some gains showing at the moment. Folks, thank you all again for being here with us today. It is so appreciated. You have to know I care about this. Love that you're here. Thank you for the thumbs ups, everyone. If you're able to hit that thumbs up button now or on the rerun tonight, please do. Give us a helping hand and bring more people to this channel by hitting the thumbs up button. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day today. Make nothing but money and get richer. And so you too can take a look at private jets and $6 and $8 and $10 million houses. And then you can invite Jen and I over for a visit, fly us out to wherever you hang out. We'd love to come and see you. You know, I'm easy going. Just get rich and we'll hang out with you. It'll be fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support of this YouTuber. Have a great rest of your day today. We'll catch you here first thing in the morning for both the alert show and the regular show. In the meantime, make a bunch of money and get richer. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Bye for now.